Forts are ridiculously OP in the Season of Conquest. That's Overpowered. And in this video, we're going to be talking about why the heck that is the case. We're going to showcase some footage from our Pass 4 opening where we built a fort that we were not able to even be near, and we're able to build it anyways. So let's dive right in to why forts are OP, and we'll start with a demonstration. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and this video has been sponsored by the makers of Rise of Kingdoms. Today, we're going to be showcasing why it is that forts are overpowered, and this is footage that we recorded after our Pass 4 had opened in the Season of Conquest. Now, I realized only recently that I didn't actually stream this fort build. I had thought that I did, but I didn't. I found this footage in my recorded footage on my iPad, and I was like, oh, yes, I need to showcase this because it's kind of insane. So we're building a fort here in the Season of Conquest that is far away from being able to get any support from our field marches. So the only marches that are here are people that have been able to random teleport to get nearby or have walked 5, 10 minutes or longer just to be able to be in the proximity of this fort. Now, this is a big deal because a building fort, you can only have one march per player. So building a structure is the time where it is absolutely the easiest to burn it. I mean, it just doesn't get any easier than when the structure is building. A fort takes a very, very long time to build. And here you can see the first report here, 422,000 for us, and then like 900,000 deads for them. MK is swarming this, 50,000 dead for us, 165,000 dead for him. 19,000 dead for us and 135,000 dead for him. This is 30 million, or rather 30,000 dead for us, 101,000 dead for MK swarming, 44,000 dead for us, 144,000 dead for MK swarming. I mean, you get the idea here. I think MK lost like 4 or 5 million power in the swarm alone on this thing, and they're urgently trying to destroy this fort because it doesn't get any easier than this moment to take out the fort. Now, you may have noticed in the report there's something really important, which is that, and we'll go over this a little bit more in depth, but in the start of KvK, you can only have a rally of 2 million on a fort, even though they can fill it with 3 million. It is your Season of Conquest technology increasing your rally capacity that makes it so that you can get closer and closer and closer to being able to rally the fort with the same number of troops that the defenders can defend it with. So not only is it a garrison meta right now, but if you defend a fort, you could have 1 million more troops in there than the opposing side, and that is so busted. It is so busted. If the opponent builds a fort and they are supporting it at all, it's very hard to take it down. And I say it's very hard, but it is doable, because on my restart project, when we were building into Zone 5, we had 2 forts get taken down, and I think our coalition at some point took down a fort as well. I mean, it is doable. If you can cut off all of the reinforcements, it is doable. And you can even see in this footage, we've got a little resource node there, an Alliance Resource Center, so people can garrison their troops and safely ferry them from the resource node into the fort. I figure that's a technique we can share now. We've been using that technique for like 4 KvKs now for fort builds. So, I mean, like, I don't know if that was secret knowledge, whoops, but I feel like that's the sort of information that can be shared now. You basically pop a resource node or an Alliance Resource Center right next to the fort, and then people can garrison the resource center with 1 march, and then, boom, just hop right into the fortress really easily. So that's what we're doing here, trying to keep this fort topped off. And when you've got, again, 1 million more capacity than the opposing side, you're in really good shape. This rally's taking a lot of pressure, not to mention the fact that if you just rally into a flag, you're gonna just take a negative trade, basically no matter what, in this archer meta. Now, I don't know if XY might shift that meta around, but even with XY, I mean, it just doesn't matter who you're rallying with. Down 1 million troops, it's a problem. Okay, you have 50%, okay, rather we'll say it this way, the opposing side has 50% more troops than you. It's a problem. So we're keeping this thing pretty full. I'm the captain here. This is their sort of last-ditch, final attempt, final opportunity to take this thing down. And I mean, the AoE also does a ton of damage. We were doing some field fighting and tried to take that field fighting underneath the fort so that folks might get hit by the AoE. Granted, their rally has some AoE as well, so there's a little bit of downside to that. You can see that they've got the field. You can see they've built flags up to where we are. So they're able to directly and in very close proximity support whatever they're doing on the field. We cannot, and yet the fort is going to build here. So if we get a look, you can see we had a permanent power loss or a permanent troop loss of 656,000. They lost 1.7 million troops here. And this has, in my opinion, very little to do with the rally combo and everything to do with the fact that it is a garrison meta and forts are completely OP. This is why I'm saying forts are OP. But let me jump in game and show you these reports a little bit more in depth. All right, here are all the reports that I had saved for the attempts on this fortress, all right? First report, it is 208,000 dead for us, 472,000 dead for them. They were using a Nebu E-Song, a little bit of AoE collateral damage there, 47,000. If we get a look at the next report, 93,000 dead for us and 269,000 dead for their rally. They're using a Guan Herald. Keep in mind that, again, we have to walk a very long way to get back to this fortress. So for them, I mean, they want to wear us down. And even if they're taking bad trades, theoretically, if they can stop us from reinforcing and they wear us down, they can take down this fort. In the next report here, we've got 106,000 dead for us, 270,000 dead for them. In the next report, we've got a Ram Nebu hitting the fort here, 135,000 dead for us, 400,000 dead for them. In the next report, this is 143,000 dead for us, 438,000 dead for them. Also 94,000 of collateral damage and 21,000 collateral damage from the AoE. In the next report, 120,000 to 298,000. In the next report, this was the one we showed in the video already, where we had the footage recorded here. And, you know, MK was swarming. And if we just add up the power loss that he had, I mean, man, there's 3 million power, 4 million power. He lost 5.5 million power in that one swarm on the fort. I mean, swarming a flag is a tall ask, but swarming a fort is really crazy, especially if it's full, which I think it must have been when he did those swarms. In fact, we can sort of see that. Yep, crazy. In the next report, this was also in the video we just showed. This was the final attempt on the fort where, I mean, we had 7 million power loss. Some of it was not even permanent, and they lost 11.5 million power, all permanent power loss. They must have been using a lot of T4s to lose so much less power than we did, and it makes sense that we're stuffing this thing with T5s, as many as we could here. Collateral damage from the AoE is 73,000, 76,000, 14,000, 112,000, 60,000, 46,000, 54,000. Actually, that guy was trying to swarm. 24,000, 20,000. This player, oh, it's Hova, also swarms. 206,000. Holy jeez. So that's you know, what was that? Yeah, 2 million power loss. Wow. 29,000, 23,000. Another swarmer here. It might have been by accident that they accidentally, you know, touched the fort to swarm it instead of hitting a march nearby. That's one of many reasons why you want to fight underneath the fort. If you're one of the defenders, they had 206,000 dead troops to the 23,000 dead in the fort. So forts are completely OP. And some people have been critical of videos I've been making, and they're like, Chisgule, you show everything one-sided. And it's like, dude, I streamed everything. If you want to see us bump our heads into forts like this, having the exact same problem, go look at the live stream footage. It's all there. We get dunked hitting forts as well. Forts are OP for everybody. So what I'm suggesting here is that everybody should be thinking about how they can use forts to their advantage when they enter into a zone or to hold a zone that they've already got. I mean, it's not a coincidence, again, that I was like, man, do we really want to rally into, 19 forts to continue to progress into the zone once we got, sort of stuck? And this is why rallying forts is very tough. And if I just show you real quick, and I know I got to collect my troops here. I'll just show you where this technology is coming from. It is this technology right over here, marching orders, increasing your rallied army capacity. That is against player cities and also forts, and that's a big deal. I don't know if that's by design, because it just says governor's cities. Okay, I don't know if it's by design or not, but the way that it works today, let me tell you, the marching orders research is really important for being able to effectively take down a fort. And you really almost need someone in the early game if you're going to try to take down a fort. And when I say early game, I mean early in the season of Conquest. If you're going to try to take down a fort, you need somebody to have specialized in marching orders and also the specific troop type that you're going to use to be rallying forts. That will be my recommendation. Otherwise, man, it is just going to be so painful. So that means, by the way, the textbook play for entering into a zone really anywhere is going to be planting a fort somewhere and then building a bunch of flags out from your pass toward that fort. That's really the textbook play for entering a zone. Forts, of course, can be used sort of strategically, as you saw in the video, to go attack a different position on the map. And if you don't build your fort first, the opposing side might. And if they take that spot, good luck knocking out the fort, because we found it to be incredibly difficult. If you found this video helpful, then do me a favor, throw a like on here, consider subscribing. We're putting out daily Rise of Kingdoms videos designed to help you get value, smash your enemies, and learn the Season of Conquest. So if this was helpful, throw that like on here, subscribe. And we'll be streaming later tonight for a whole bunch of good stuff. Ooh, collect all those resources. Whole bunch of good stuff with Esmeralda's house. So you're not going to want to miss that. She'll take all my gems and give me nothing. Until next time, you have fun smashing the kingdom.